Shalom. Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. For those who are still asleep and are meant to wake up, this message is for you. Let me get a scripture. Pull up a scripture. Wake up, Jacob. For those that's meant to get it, wake up, Jacob. 1 Thessalonians 5. Let me open it up. Let me start at verse 3. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. What does America push? What do they fight for? What do they go to war for? Freedom, right? Peace and safety. But there's going to be an ugly twist to this story. And it's taking place right now. A lot of military are trying to gain up their forces for what's evidently about to happen in the future. The third war. All right. And to those of the hopeful elect, wake up, Jacob. Because I don't know the exact number, but I'll say for those that know, they are awoken or awakened or awoke and can see the prophecies of Yahweh Shem Yahushua coming into reality. Because they see, read, study to show themselves approved. And by the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, their eyes have been opened. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. What day is that? The day of Yahweh Shem Yahushua's return. A day of salvation for the 1/3 of Israel, and a day of destruction for the Lord's enemies, including 2/3 of his own people. Ye are all children of the light to the 1/3, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Okay? For those that still claiming they black, even after this truth has come out. That what black mean. If you're of the elect of Israel, you're a child of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and you know you are from one of the 12 tribes of Israel. And that 5, verse 5, ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep, wake up, as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. And this is not like talking with strong drink. This is talking about your thoughts, the philosophies, your mental belief, your personal perspective of how you view life. Whether you see it based on what you was brought up on, which is mainly to the majority, I'll say that, to the majority of those that live their life, your teachings, your thoughts are based on lies. But as it is written in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 6, therefore let us not sleep as do others, okay, those with your philosophies and thoughts that you've been brought up on since you was young, and you clearly see something is wrong. Like I said, this is to the hopeful elect only that might still be asleep. Because at this day and time, it's there might be some more. But based on the elders, they're already sealed. It's just the fact of it being perfected. Walking in the same spirit of Yahushua toward the final goal, salvation for the elect of Israel. Because you got people that always like to come up and say, what's the purpose of this? When they see us out on the highways and the hedges, what's the purpose of this? What you doing this for? It's for the salvation of the elect of Israel. It's by the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It takes faith. It takes knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And first and foremost, it takes the mercy and grace of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for those he have elected. Okay? Verse 7 again. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. In this dark world, because there's no light out here. There's really no light. It's the 12th hour. It's dark. Before Yahweh Bashem Yahushua returns, the thief in the night. Many people and most of Israel are still drunken with the philosophies of this world in this time, in the night. When you see the prophecies coming back to back to back to back to back, evidence of the truth being declared physically and in real time, from your news stations to your everyday walk in life, you see how things are deteriorating, right? And some people are still, subject, I'll say that, they're subject to be drunken with the lies and the philosophies of this being all life is. Verse 8, and I'm going to get to the video. But let us who are of the day be sober, not dependent on these philosophies, not dependent. Okay, what they say about a person that's a drunkard or alcoholic, or a dope head, they say they're dependent on those substances, right? Not being sober. The same way with 2/3 of Israel and these heathen nations. But let us who are of the day be sober, put on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation. That's what this is all about, the elect being saved in these last days and time by the grace of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It's another word, it's a better word for it than just grace. The choice of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. The will, even better, that's the word I'm looking for. The will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to save his elect. You know, because people out here think they got free will and they got all the time in the world, but the day is getting dark. Time is running out. Before I continue, I want to get this. I'm going to start up here. Joel chapter 3 and verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Welcome back on this Independence Day as members of our armed forces are being honored and celebrated at the White House and around the country. The U.S. military is in the middle of what is a massive recruiting drought. In 2022, the U.S. Army had its most difficult recruiting year since it ended the draft in 1973. Other branches are struggling too, leaving the Army, Navy, and Air Force roughly 30,000 recruits short of their goals. There are all sorts of explanations for the shortfall, including the pandemic, a tight labor market, but one reason appears to be the experiences of veterans themselves. According to the Wall Street Journal, more and more veterans are urging family members against enlisting. That does not bode well for an Army where nearly 80% of all new recruits have a family member who served. And joining me now is the retired Army Colonel, Jack Jacobs. He is, of course, a Medal of Honor recipient and an NBC News military analyst. Colonel Jack, on this holiday, as always, we say thank you for your service. And this is a heck of a headline about the all-volunteer force in the U.S. right now. The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mike Mullen, told the Wall Street Journal about prospective recruits. He said the following: influencers are not telling them to go to the military. Moms, dads, uncles, coaches, pastors do not see it as a good choice. What's your take?
Well, it used to be a good choice, and we had generations of people joining the military because previous generations had. I did because my father had served in the Second World War in the Army in New Guinea and the Philippines, and I thought it was my obligation to serve. But a lot has happened since we decided to have an all-volunteer force. The result has been far fewer people going into the military to start with, which leaves far fewer people trying to influence those who would otherwise come in. It's interesting to note that a very large percentage of people who enter the armed forces now, something on the order of 78 or 79%, have a family member who has served, but only 30% have a parent who served. And that number is coming down too. In an environment in which you could do just about anything and make some money, coming into the military seems to be an option that not many people are selecting.
Okay. You got people making thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars off YouTube, right? You got people making, just sitting in their house, sitting on their ass. That's why I want to pull this up again, man, because this is what's about to happen. And America don't see it. And when I say America, I'm talking about 2/3 of Israel and other heathen nations here in America. Because everywhere else around this world, the world of Esau, Edom, at this time, they know something is brewing. You think Russia is sitting up there, the main one, their military force is sitting up there on their ass playing video games? Or are they in the field? China, are they in the field? Korea and all these other nations, are they in the field, or are they on their ass playing video games, making YouTube and Snapchats and videos, and you know, it's the Instagram videos. I'm gonna talk about that another time, Lord willing. He put the spirit on me to do that video. There's a video out there where there's over 50 people. I'll just put it safe. 50 people with dreams and warnings about what's about to happen to America, aka Babylon the Great. And it's nothing nice to all y'all that steady on your phones, Instagramming, YouTubing, not taking the word of Yahweh seriously. Joel 3 and verse 10 again. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. You see what he just said? This guy on this news broadcast just said recruitment is down, is at an all-time low here in America. And this is news being broadcasted across the whole world. If you don't like America as one of those other countries, and you will see America right now being, look at the president. Let the weak say, I am strong. Shit, man. It don't get no more clear than that. Your president could barely walk. But they still talking all this big, proud, America the proud bullshit. You don't think something about to happen? And this is all through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is making it happen. And that's what the people don't know. That's what the people don't get. People are so helplessly dependent on the system. They will die for this shit. And many are, ignorantly. Verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. Come down where to, Lord? Oh, Lord, come down where to? Verse 12, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Yahweh Shaphat, the valley of judgment. This is in the Lord's hand. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. You got the BRICS. You got America and her allies so far. Right? And everybody's seeing through the scheme. They're seeing through the deception of Esau Edom over here in America. But they still need y'all. They need y'all. Uncle Sam is pointing his finger at you. And you're going to get drafted. You're going to get drafted. You know, you might have family members that signed up for the shit. Right? 'Cause I do. Even though I've been trying to warn them. But hey, that's all we can do in this day and time.
People are selecting.
Well, you make a good point there, right? And now there's this new competition for those individuals, for those potential recruits right now, where often going into the military is a way to sort of secure your future, your education would be guaranteed and be paid for. But now there are a lot of other routes that young people in this country are finding to do that, separate from the military. And it's not just that. There's obviously sort of a fatigue associated with the recent wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. So how do you flip the switch on this? How does the military change this trajectory?
Well, that takes leadership. Just about anything you want to accomplish, whether it's in this environment or any other kind of environment, takes leadership. And we have not had leaders who've done a very good job of convincing the rank and file of the American public that if you're lucky enough to live in a free country, you owe it something in the form of service. What's happened now is that so few people are serving, not because necessarily recruitment is down, but because the requirements of the service are such that we are taking only volunteers and we don't have a draft, is that a wide gap has opened up between those who are serving and those who are being served. Statistically, most Americans do not know anybody in uniform. This is
You see this? Who feels free here? After 2020, and y'all brought up, if y'all haven't brought up yet, y'all gonna bring it up, about what happened with the Twin Tower situation, right? What freedom? From out of nowhere, y'all told people that that they could they gotta get, you know, a jump shot and wear a mask during a so-called scamdemic. And months after you got a reply out of people, the proper reply to take that jump shot, people started, you know, becoming unalive. Who else trusts you? You have put on your own countrymen, supposedly, not to trust you. Let me see if I could get a scripture for this one, man. Because, damn, boy, these boys crazy. Let's go to Zephaniah. Zephaniah 1, and I'm going to start at verse 7. Hold thy peace at the presence of the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, our power. For the day of the Lord is at hand. For the Lord Yahweh hath prepared a sacrifice. He hath bid his guests. All right. The borders of America are still open. Even after Trump, you know, and all of his stuff, you know, they're still open. Come on. The Lord is calling y'all to come here to the sacrifice. But these people ain't trying to go to fight for this country. They're trying to get away. They're trying to get here from all the bullshit that's out there. And so they feel safe here. That's peace and safety. This is the land where you feel you're going to be at peace and safety. And then sudden destruction. This is the sacrifice. 8. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such are clothed with strange apparel, not having this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, not believing in this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, not believing in the word of Yahweh, his only begotten Son, Yahushua, our Savior. That's all. And I wanted to jump down. Let's go to verse 12. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles to find out who's the 1/3 and who's the 2/3, who's going to be saved and who's going to be destroyed, and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. So you still don't know the Lord? You know he does all things? Let me get a precept on that. For those that don't know, wake up. Those that are supposed to be saved. That's it. Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, do all these things. Okay? Is that cut and dry enough? Should that not be cut and dry enough? Verse 12 again. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will not do good, neither will he do evil. As we just read in Isaiah. These people have a doubt or a misconception of who the Lord really is. Let's jump down to 14. The great day of the Lord is near, it is near, and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. All right? Because y'all don't want to go to war, but that draft is coming. You know? All y'all ready trying to gang bang and thug it out in the streets and shooting up innocent. Well, they ain't nobody fucking innocent to get got, right? But people that ain't got nothing to do with you. Robbing and spoiling is also a part of the Lord's plan. But he got something for y'all too. Those that want to have fun and partying and avoid the Lord, you know, and ignore the Lord, he got something for you. And for most of y'all, or for a lot of y'all, say it's going to be that draft. It's going to be that draft. They probably ain't going to have to knock on your door. They're going to just see you out in the streets and be like, hey, you coming with us. And this is the reason why they don't want to go to war. Let me pull this up first before I get out of here. See, Esau Edom, to your ignorance, man. This is why there's only that the people. What did he say? He said that there's not too many people that actually work for the government or that's been veterans of the system of America that's inside the houses now. They lost faith in your system. And this American dream bullshit it's gone. And everybody, you made your lips to fall upon yourself. And those that see it, you know, roughly paraphrasing, they're gonna flee from you. Even your own countrymen. Right? Disabled veterans being let down by benefits system. Royal British Legion. All right? And that's starting over. If it starts over there in the Eastern Hemisphere and you see it occurring here, what does that tell you? All right? People are done. What did it say? Charity says DWP staff failing to understand PTSD when carrying out health assessments. The people are through. And as the king, so are the people, so the king gets through. Look at your president. Let the weak say they are strong.
And those who are being served. Statistically, most Americans do not know anybody in uniform. This is a really dangerous situation when you're separated from those who, in some cases, are risking their lives to make sure that you remain free and the United States achieves its foreign policy.
Y'all let them people out on the streets, man. Y'all let most of them people, I got uncles and shit, right? Y'all let them die off like they wasn't nothing. And you got people out here in the streets with holding signs up. What do you expect? And this dude trying to get some false sense of hope. Shit, what?
The objectives. The only way this will change is through leadership. It's interesting to note, for example, that more people were killed on 9/11 in New York City than were killed at Pearl Harbor. And yet on the 8th of December, 1941, hundreds of thousands of young people streamed to reception stations to go defend the country. That did not happen after 9/11. At the end of the day, I go back to what I said before. It takes leadership. Right. And if you can't motivate people to go defend their country after 9/11, then it's going to take extraordinary leadership to change that.
Yeah, notably, remarkably, a lot of the people you'd be recruiting, though, to be fighting or to joining the military were not even born when 9/11 took place, now 22 years ago. And this is a bigger issue, not just about recruiting, Colonel Jack, but it's also really about America's military preparedness going forward with these emerging conflicts or competitions with China and Russia. So what does it mean for our readiness? If we went to war today, say China decides to go into Taiwan, how confident are you that we have the personnel that we need, plus personnel sort of in the pipeline in place?
Well, one can't have very much confidence in the current circumstances. Among other things, the military's discovered that a fairly significant proportion of people who even want to come into the military are not physically capable of being in the military, or who have rap sheets, or drug problems, and so on. It's very, very difficult to even get people who are qualified who want to come in. The second thing to keep in mind is some services are far more vulnerable than others. You can make Army units smaller and so on, and they can or can't do their job. But at the end of the day, if you go into someplace like the Navy, which is heavily equipment-centric, you got to have people in the right military occupational specialties, and we don't have those.
Can't do it. All right. So this is a warning to those that's going to be drafted, to those not seeking the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to those not calling on His name, to those that He hasn't called, and more importantly, He hasn't chosen. Wake up. Wake up, if you are of the elect. With that, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kwakadash. Double honor to our elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Till next time, Kwam Yasharala, Wa Abba Baba.